what are the main characteristics of vertebrates. But before that, we are going one step above the classification ladder and we'll talk about chordates. So chordates are all those animals that have a notochord or a tube from which the nervous system or the spinal cords differentiate in the animals during embryonic stages. A subclass of these chordates have a vertebral column. So that vertebral column is also called the backbone. The chordates possess a very complex nervous system which has to be protected inside a vertebral column. Chordates have an endoskeleton, which means the skeleton or the skull and all the bones are inside the body and they are not outside like you see in shells or in insects. They have a dorsal and hollow nerve cord during the embryonic stages, which differentiates into the spinal cord. Now, they have bilateral symmetry, which means that their left and right side of the body are mirror images, and they have triploblastic germ layer, which means during their embryonic differentiation, they have ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. They are coelomates, they have body cavity inside their body, and their body is segmented inside, and they have an endoskeleton made up of cartilages and bones. They have pharyngeal split or cleft, and they may also possess a post-anal tail, which can be very rudimentary as you see in human beings. So chordates have a subclass vertebrata. Other two subclasses are cephalochordata and urochordata. So if we look at the classification of chordata, you see that one subgroup is vertebrata, which is huge as it contains all the animals that have backbone such as fish, bird, reptiles, amphibians, and mammals. Subphylum of chordata, which are cephalochordata or urochordata, are not very evolved and are not as diverse, but they do possess a notochord, which is the nerve cord from which your central nervous system originates, and they are kind of a link between the chordates and non-chordates. Talking about the adaptations of chordates, they have a vertebral column which has played a very important role in their mobility and support. Because of these skeletal systems, they were able to move around much faster and to a larger distances, and also the presence of these endoskeleton help in protection of nervous system, important organs like brain and spinal cord. Chordates range from simple marine animals to very complex vertebrates, which you see all around you: dogs, cats, and even human beings. Chordates are essential for our understanding to study the evolution of vertebrates and their biodiversity. The first class under vertebrata is Agnatha. Agnatha are primitive, jawless vertebrates. They include animals like lamprey or hagfish. They are found both in marine as well as freshwater environment. They lack true jaws, they are jawless fishes, and they have pair of fins. Their endoskeleton is made up of cartilages and their body is smooth and they do not have any scales. Lamprey is parasitic. They have these oral suckers, which you can see in the image, that help them to attach with their host and help in feeding on the blood of their host. Hagfish, on the other hand, are scavengers, and you know that the scavengers decompose the material around them, and that's how they obtain the nutrition, and they are known to produce a slime for escaping the predators. Agnatha has external fertilization, wherein they lay eggs in the water and the fertilization happens in the water. So the gametes are laid in the water by both male and female animal, and after fertilization the tiny little offspring enters in the burrows in sand. So talking about the ecological importance of important members of Agnatha, lamprey, we just learned that they are parasitic in nature. They impact the population of fish in their ecosystem. Hagfish, which is a scavenger, help in cleaning the ecosystem and act as a decomposer. The next class under vertebrata is Chondrichthyes. These are cartilaginous fishes. So their endoskeleton is made up of cartilages and not bones. The important examples are sharks, rays, and skates. These animals are predominantly marine in nature. Their endoskeleton is made up of flexible material called cartilage, which is a kind of connective tissue. They have pairs of fins and gills which help them in respiration. They have scales on their body which are called the placoid scales or dermal denticles, which provide them a rough texture and help them in escaping their predators. Chondrichthyes have very highly evolved sensory system. They have lateral line system which help them detect the electric field underwater. They have a streamlined body that provides them efficiency for swimming. Chondrichthyes are carnivorous and they have very sharp replaceable teeth, and they feed by chewing on their food. They may be filter feeders. That means they only filter some small organic particles from water, as in the example of whale shark, or they can be predator where they attack the whole animal and eat the whole animal. For example, the great white sharks. In these kind of fishes, the fertilization does not happen outside in water, but it is internal fertilization. After fertilization, they can either lay egg that hatches outside the body of mother, which is called oviparous animals. They can be ovoviviparous, which means that they produce eggs, but the egg hatches inside the body of the mother. Or they can be viviparous, which means they produce the young ones. The male animal possess a specialized structure called claspers, which help them in holding to their partner during mating. The next class of chordata is Osteichthyes, which are bony fishes. So the bony fishes have their endoskeleton made up of bones, unlike the cartilaginous fishes, which have the endoskeleton made up of cartilages. These fish form the largest class of vertebrata, and they are found both in freshwater and in marine habitats. They have bony skeleton which is made up of calcium phosphate. They have an operculum, which is an opening over the gills, which cover the gills and protect them from the harsh current of water. They have a swim bladder in their body that provides them buoyancy. And some common examples of bony fishes are salmon, goldfish, and seahorses. Osteichthyes can have variety of body shapes and sizes which help them to best adapt to their environment. They have fins which are adapted for specific functions like maneuvering and stabilization. Osteichthyes have external fertilization, while some parents also give parental care to the offsprings produced outside of their body. They are oviparous with varying egg laying strategies, and they produce eggs which are hatching outside of their body. Osteichthyes play a crucial role in their aquatic ecosystem. They are both prey to some bigger animals and predator on some smaller animals. They are significant source of protein for human beings, and there are a variety of fishes which are eaten up all over the world.